Relevant to this video, my name is Bart Winkler, and I host a show called The Bart Winkler Show. I have a Facebook page, which I've used over the years for different show-related topics, shit posting, and memes. This video that I took on Friday, April the 4th, Cubs home opener against the Padres, is up to 250,000 views. It is a very simple video. I actually thought it was too stupid to post, but I posted it over the weekend, and Cubs fans are very upset. I found the biggest loser ever at Wrigley. Huge loser. Loser. That's not a Padre. Counsell sucks. Yeah, okay, so that's it. That's the video. And it's one of the reels, whatever it populated. Now, Cubs fans, this is typically something that has happened to me in the past, is that Cubs fans will then get it in their algorithm. So what happens is that Cubs fans, this was posted, the 3,000 people that like my page, they see it, but then it gets in the algorithm and Cubs fans see it. Now, I don't mind when that happens because the algorithm pays money. And I think I've made about $15 on that. But, everything going on, I will take $15 wherever I can get it. I am astonished at the comments, and I wanted to break down some of them because if you take the time to comment on something like this, you're clearly upset by the video that you saw. You're upset at its existence and why it happened. I did not realize that so many people were in such defense of Craig Counsell. Chicago's simping for this man. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that the seats I sat in the 300 level, which were not the highest level at Wrigley, were where the poors sit. And I didn't realize that people in Chicago had that much money that they could scoff down on people for sitting in the 300s. And I also did not realize that people are just stupid. If you're going to make a comment, get me, attack me. I gave you 15 seconds. Attack me, attack my face. Google me real quick and make fun of me for something. But there's so many people, like the main comment was, turns out the loser is you. Okay. I mean, I guess that's good enough. I don't think that's, that's like the bare minimum of what you can do. But so many other people do it. Wouldn't you at some point be like, oh, wow, a lot of people said this exact same thing. So I wanted to show you some of the comments and what I'm dealing with here. Calling a millionaire a loser. Yeah, I'm sure his feelings were hurt. I don't see you on that field. But they all know his name and people pay money to see him. I'm sorry, you are. That's a big thing I got. Like, who is this guy? Who cares? Who is this guy? For the context of the video, I'm a guy at the Cubs game calling Craig Counsell a loser, which as a Brewers fan, maybe I bury the lead there. As a Brewers fan, he was our manager for 8 years and then he left us to go to the Cubs. Of course I'm going to call him a loser. I feel like he secretly regrets it. He won't admit it, but I feel like he does. Looks like the loser is the dork making the video. That's from Susie. Michael says, dude, you bought a ticket to sit in the stands. He's paid to be on the field. Who's a loser now? So basically, Michael thinks that anyone who goes to a baseball game is a loser, is what I gather from that. Not just me, all 40,000 that day. Brian says, meanwhile, you have to go to your shitty job you never dreamed of as a kid in the morning. You gingers are devils in disguise, hateful shitbags. Craig won a couple World Series as a player. Tell us how proud you are of your employee of the month you got in 2016, bro. You are a dick. First of all, I'm not a ginger. My beard is red, but my hair, what's left of it, is brown. So there's another fun thing you could make fun of. Biggest loser, guy who is in the nosebleed, who can't afford better seats. Why are we money shaming? We're going to be in a recession. Who's going to baseball games in September? You're the biggest loser. Are you sitting during the anthem with your cap on? Play the video again. You do not hear the anthem because it was played after, in which I stood and did not do a video where I called a guy a loser. Tony says it takes an actual loser to ignorantly post something like that. James says no real West Ham fan ever yelled so timidly. Take the hat off, loser. A lot of people making fun of my West Ham hat. I found the biggest loser ever at Wrigley. And what I did was I'm wearing a jacket. I'm wearing a West Ham hat. I didn't wear anything Brewers. Why am I going to... I'm paying respect. The Brewers didn't play. It was Cubs Padres. What, am I going to show up and wear Brewers shit? Why would I do that? That's dumb. They're not playing. Robert says, this is the guy of a fan or whatever. Is this guy a fan of a team whose stadium was the longest time called Wrigley North? Just because you call it something doesn't make it true. And also, if it was for the longest time, how come you guys don't call it that anymore? Dudes in the nosebleeds talking about others sucking. LOL. Where do these Cubs people sit? Where do you guys sit at Cubs games? The elitism from Cubs fans is shocking to me. Just shocking. We don't need people like you in our ballparks from Eva. Jeez. Don't be such a hostile fan, says Penny. You are adding to the bullying that is so awful. And kids are hearing you. Your parents raised a jerk. A little better, a little more pointed. I told her that I was kind of quiet. This is not bullying. There were no kids around me. Only way any kids see is if you show them. My parents raised a jerk. Don't talk about my brother that way. Don't talk about my brother that way. Josh says, you're such an asshole, Bart. You're a national disgrace to the team. Leave Craig alone. Carrie says, who's the biggest loser? Your mother? Mark says, and yet he still makes more money than you. I hope so. I'm on the radio at 11:30 at night. He is a manager of a Major League Baseball team. Ty had a few comments. Ty got really mad. He said, okay, moron. And then he said, and you're married to your cousin. I said, I bet she's better looking than your wife. Bob says, I'm not sure why adults post stuff like this. I don't know why adults comment on them. Ron says, coming from a loser, I guess you would know what they look like. I said, that's how I knew. That is how I knew. Bill, and who are you? Clown face emoji 5 times. What does it matter who I am? There's no point of this matters who I am. You paid money to see that loser. What does that make you? I told him I won tickets from a radio station. Sorry, here's one from Jeff. Sorry, I couldn't understand you. Take your tampon out and say that again. Look, I know that we're overall dumber as a race than we used to be, a human race than we used to be, but we don't have to be that dumb. We don't have to be this dumb. Devin says the guy who drinks piss water and calls it beer. So you see this, and the first thing you want to do is trade beer barbs at each other? I said, these insults are so weak, man. He said, what's weak is you started this page 12 years ago and only have 3,000 followers. I go, that's more like it. Dude's a crap-ass West Ham supporter who's scared to wear his own team's gear at Wrigley. Yeah, a lot of people making fun of me for West Ham, but the thing about that is I'm not going to get all unhinged in the comments if someone speaks poorly about a team I like. David, I got a few from David. What a jerk. What did he ever do to society? Ironic you're taking a picture of yourself when you said you found the biggest loser. It turns out to be you. I sure hope you're not a father. I feel sorry for your kids. I said, this is unhinged behavior. He says, that's not a complete thought. I mean, really, you realize how dumb people are. If you, any time that I have ever posted anything that somehow gets picked up in the Chicago algorithm, And sometimes things get posted and get picked up in other teams' algorithms. And there's a lot of barbs, but I swear there's a collection of insult that I get uniquely from Cubs fans rather than other fans. I'm just so stunned with what kind of people I'm dealing with. Go fuck yourself in your nosebleed seats. Someone else asked me to say hi to the guy piloting the blimp. Need some money for good seats? What is wrong with these seats? They are good. Huge loser. Look, how are these nosebleeds? You can see the field, the whole field. It's actually a little closer than it would be, I think, at AmFam in terms of it doesn't feel as far away, the incline. And also there's a whole section above me. Michael, nobody knows who you are. It doesn't matter who I am. That's not a problem. So these are the kind of comments I get. Again, I'm not mad that people are insulting me. I'm mad that people think they're insulting me, and really only one or two people on there actually insulted me. Telling me to take out my tampon does not insult me. It makes me think that you're stupid. Okay? The nosebleed thing, I'm astonished. I am astonished about the kind of criticism I got for those seats. I mean, like $80. That's not cheap. I bought two of them. It turns out the biggest loser is you. It makes you feel good. You get the comment out. I also got some people that couldn't just handle commenting. They had to send me a personal message to really make themselves feel better. So I just wanted to show some of those and thank Cubs fans because I'm making money off of this. I'm making money. The more you engage, look, I hate to be that guy, but haven't I always been that guy reluctantly? Well, now it's maybe time that I try to profit off of it. So thank you to the Meta check that I'll be getting next month. And thank you for your engagement and your supporting of the Bart Winkler Show. Wait till these guys find out that I'm on 670 The Score in Chicago 3 hours a night. Wait till they find that out. The stupid cheesehead talks every night about the Brewers. Oh, Brewers never won a World Series. You think that hurts me? Come on. So if you're going to comment, can we just the minimum the bar you have to clear is no female toiletry related humor, please.